Hey, Shani from SpeedCubeReview.com. So I'm going to go through some walkthrough solves. I've been really reluctant on doing walkthrough solves because I don't feel as experienced as some other cubers like Felix that could do much more advanced solves. But a lot of people have been asking for them, so I figured I'll do one every so often on some really nice solves I might have that I want to talk about, or maybe after competition going through some of those. But for right now, I've got two solves. I have one that was a recent sub 10 solve that I have, and I'll just put this right up here. I posted this on Instagram so you could see that there. But first, let's scramble this. Okay, so let's kind of walk through this. And the first thing was the white cross. Now this ended up being really easy, because if I move that blue into place, red and orange are already right there. And if I do an R2, that's going to move the green in the back. So it was just a 4-move cross. And right after I did that, the first thing I saw was this orange-green right in the back here. So I took that out. And I rotated like this. I should have done the other way, because when I insert now, it's going to be in the front. If I insert in the back, it might be easier to see other pairs because they would always be in the front right here. So in the second pair, this blue and red is pretty obvious, so separate them and then insert. And then I did a Y move and, oh, there we go, insert that green and red, that's what it was, which set up this blue and orange like this. Now, someone else had brought up that I should do a different algorithm when they're set up like how they just were, but I find with what I'm doing, it's just moving two faces, and compared to the other algorithm they showed, it was a 1-move difference, so I'm pretty happy with this. After this, it was a really easy OLL, and then I actually had a PLL skip. So, pretty simple solve, ended up being just under 10 seconds. Now the second solve I'm going to show, I'm really happy with. It wasn't under 10 seconds, but it was not a white cross, which I was pretty happy with. And then also, it had a really high TPS for myself. So this solve was a little over 4 moves per second. This one was almost 6. So let me bring up that one. So there's that other scramble. So let me do this one. So the first thing I noticed after scrambling it was this bar right here, and it's green and white and green and yellow. So looking for those other pieces, when you see that they're opposite, you can insert the other edges opposite and just do like a D2 at the end. So for example, this green and red, I saw that if I did an L, F prime, L prime, that's gonna bring that one down. And then also kick this out to the side, which would be an easy insert by doing D prime, R prime, D prime, and move that into place. While I had that, I saw that this one, well actually first thing I looked at the corner, and I noticed that this is just gonna move right over to right here. And that when I do that L prime, F prime, or L, F prime, L prime, this is going to be flipped right there. So I actually was able to see the first pair right away. So for example, let me just do this cross. So I move that into place, and then D prime, R prime, D prime. So that solved the cross, and those two are set. While I'm inserting that, I saw this pair. And so right after inserting, I already separated those two right here, and then inserted those in the back. And while I'm doing that, I can see this green and white, or the orange and white. And so I separated those two, and I use this open slot. And this is actually one reason why I'm not a big fan of using a sheet with algorithms, because it doesn't take into consideration you have this open slot in the back and inserting like that. After that, we have the final pair right here. So I did a rotation, and I separated them. And just like that last algorithm or the last solve, I mean, this is that sort of 2-gen, 2-move algorithm where I'm able to insert it without having to use more than just two sides, and it's one extra move than another algorithm that someone showed. Then we have the OLL, and this flowed right into it. And then I saw right away this is a J perm, and I'm not going to have to do any extra movements at the end, and ends right there. So that was a 60-move solve, and it was about 5.71 turns per second. So hopefully for those who are starting out, this might give you some ideas of different ways of inserting pairs or what to look for. I'm not usually able to see the first pair right during the inspection, but I try to find it while I'm doing the cross and actually performing that. So that last solve was just a really nice one. It ended up being a full step 10.49 seconds, so I'm pretty happy about that. Thank you very much for watching. Leave your thoughts and questions in the comment section below. Hit like, subscribe for more content like this in the future. And as always, stop by speedcubeview.com for more news and reviews.